Welcome back to the TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Strong Successful Male Clips. You know, women really like to gaslight. They even gaslight themselves sometimes in thinking that, oh, I never cheated. You know, it's his child. Why does he want a paternity test? Why? Because they want to, they don't want to look like the bad person when they truly know they are. And that's why there's laws passing, like in Tennessee, for paternity tests, mandatory paternity tests. Why? Because we can't trust women. We really can't. Out of all of the people that take paternity tests, 1/3 is not their child. Imagine if every man took a paternity test, where that would be actually. Maybe even 50, maybe more percentages. It's just sad that women can use this against men. Like there's no paternity fraud for women. We all know whose child that is. It's her child. But for a man, this is why historically and biologically we are ingrained to not want promiscuous women. We're kind of disgusted by promiscuous women because we can't tell. Even nowadays with paternity tests, it's not mandatory. Not yet, at least. And even places like France, it is illegal unless it's court ordered, or you get in trouble for it, which is just protecting women even more. But really, it's protecting the country and the state, because they won't have to shell out the cost of taking care of that child and helping out that single mother. So please subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
So here's a quick one about a gal who's 37, and she's having a freaking meltdown because her husband's demanding a paternity test. As it turns out, the child is born, and let's just say the child in no way, shape, or form looks like the father. I mean, at all. And the way he looks in terms of the color of his hair and skin color, that certainly no one on her side of the family is that background either, and et cetera, et cetera. And again, proving how, good Lord, if everybody had paternity tests or DNA tests when their children were born, I can't imagine the amount of heart attacks that would be happening across the world from people that when when things have been revealed about them.
A friend told me a story of her friend when they were in high school or something. They were learning Punnett squares, how genes work and how genes get passed down to their offspring and stuff. And that's when she found out or she figured out herself that her dad wasn't her real dad. And that's crazy when the child is able to even do the basic science of a Punnett I don't even remember how to say it, Punnett square, I believe, and can figure out that, oh yeah, I don't have any of the genes that my dad has, and this can never happen because these are dominant genes.
Title: My 37-year-old partner wants a paternity test, and I'm devastated. She says here, I, a 37-year-old female, just had a beautiful daughter with my partner, a 36-year-old male. Last Tuesday. She is perfect, and we absolutely adore her. My partner is so happy and was very supportive during pregnancy and labor.
Yeah,
everything was perfect, or so I thought. We have only been together for 18 months, and things moved very quickly for us. We started living together only after 3 months. That's stupid. And have been inseparable ever since. Even working in the same factory together until I went on maternity leave. So you work together, again, that's even more stupid. That's equally stupid. My partner and I are both recovering addicts. And you're having kids? Great. I have 3 years and he has 2.5 years sober. We have completely turned our lives around and have the life I never thought possible. Well, that's great. You turn things around. I'm proud of you. Good job. That ain't easy, but still, you're both addicts. There's never been cheating on either side of us, but yes, there can be some jealousy issues. Are you sure about that cheating part, honey? Now that he has some history, here's the problem. We came home from the hospital Friday, and I was exhausted, so he took the baby while I slept. When I wake up, he says, you know, I love you, right? And I immediately got worried, and then he says he wants a DNA test because he counted the days, and when I got pregnant, he was in jail. Jail, huh? Recovering addicts, jail. Says here he's still in probation.
At least this man was doing the math, and the math wasn't mathing. I love the term math isn't mathing because it works for a lot of things, So when, he was in jail, it probably took like 9 months, but what?
Probation and was driving without a license. This is not true. I got pregnant 2 months after he got home, and the cherry on top is we actually were actively trying to have a baby. So not only as you're about to see the look of the baby is in question, but also the timing of pregnancy and the date. I'm absolutely devastated and automatically felt different about him. I was tired and emotional, so I just cried. He is saying he doesn't trust me, and I'm angry right now. We went yesterday to take the test and paid $200. I'm not working, and that money is money we need. Our baby has jet black hair, and he has blonde hair and blue eyes. Mine is dirty blonde. Then can you blame him?
Those are very recessive genes.
He says he just wants to be sure and has issues because of past relationships. I feel lost and unsure if I will ever feel the same about him. I don't have anyone to talk to about this because I'm embarrassed, so I came here. Thank you for any advice. Sorry so long. Well, here's some advice. You better come.
You were embarrassed to tell anybody, but you came on the internet and posted a whole story trying to gaslight everybody, gaslighting yourself that you didn't cheat. Really? Really?
Clean with your guy because that baby doesn't look anything like him or any member of his family, and anybody in your family, which clearly that's the case. If you are blondes or dirty blondes and blue eyes, and the baby has black hair, and the skin color is different, and the eyes are different, and all that, on top of the fact that there's a question of the time of conception, you better come clean. And we shall see what happens. But again, guys have a right to question these things. And I can't imagine what it would be like to be the doctor and the nurses when a woman has a baby, and the husband's there, and the child's delivered, and it's like, and they're holding the baby, and they look at the mother and father, and like, right?
Yep.
What does the UPS driver look like? What does the FedEx driver look like? But anyhow, he has a right to question this. So that'd be an entertaining one. Paternity test. Eventually, everybody's going to be taking them.
Yep. Poor guy, It's sad that men can easily get taken advantage of this way, and the state, the law enforcement, the government not just allows this, but enforces this, and makes this happen even more by turning a blind eye. This is what men are going through. Funny story for me, when I first came to this country when I was 5, I was a darkie. Like super dark because I was playing out in the sun all the whole time. And my parents are white. They have much more Chinese genes than I do. And they look nothing like me. I didn't look like them at all. So when I first came here, they required a paternity test for my parents for me to prove that I was their child. Because back in those refugee days when refugees were coming over, they would just bring kids that weren't their kids. Just to kind of bring kids out of poverty and things like that. So the U.S. government was kind of on it about this. So they forced my parents a paternity test, and it turned out, yeah, I was their kid. And even my aunts make fun of this. All of my aunts are like, oh, the milkman, the mail lady, But I am actually their child. Just I have a lot more genes from the Cambodian side of things than most of my family, which has the more Chinese side of things. So, yeah. So, anyways, please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.